ሶ ቀጣዩ የሚሆነው ቤዚክስ ኦፍ ሪትሪቪንግ ኢንፎርሜሽን ነው። ሶ ኢንተርኔት ላይ እንግዲህ የተለያየ ኢንፎርሜሽን እንደሚገኝ አይተናል። ሶ እሱ እንዴት ሪትሪቭ እናደርጋለን? ሶ that is the task of this specific part of the chapter. So when we go at it, so search engines ናቸው የመጀመሪያው ኮንሴፕት። ሶ ሰርች ኢንጂን እንግዲህ እንደ ኤግዛምፕል ጉግልን መጥቀስ እንችላለን። ሌሎች ይገኛሉ፣ በኋላ እንጠቅሳቸዋለን። ግን ሜይንሊ ፎር ኮምፖነንት አላቸው ሁሉም ሰርች ኢንጂኖች። የመጀመሪያው ዴታቤዝ ኦፍ ሬፈረንስስ ቱ ዌብ ፔጅስ። ሶ እዚህ ጋር ኖት ማድረግ ያለብን ዌብ ፔጅ አይዙም። የሚይዙት ምንድን ነው? ስለ ዌብ ፔጆች ኢንፎርሜሽን ነው ማለት ነው። ሶ ዴታቤዝ አላቸው። ቅድም እንዳወራ ነው ዴታቤዝ ማለት ቴብል that contains information, collection of information. So ስለዚህ የሚይዘው ስለ ዌብ ፔጆች ኢንፎርሜሽን ነው። ለምሳሌ ዌብ ፔጁ በማን ተጻፈ፣ ታይትሉ ምንድን ነው፣ መቼ ተጻፈ የሚለውን ኮንቴን የሚያደርግ ማለት ነው። ሶ እንደዚህ አይነት ዴታቤዝ አላቸው። ሁለተኛው የሚሆነው an indexing robots that crawls the www or the world wide web ነው። ሶ ይሄ ሮቦት ምንድን ነው የሚያደርገው? ቅድም ያልናቸውን ኢንፎርሜሽኖች የተለያዩ ዌብሳይቶች ላይ በመሄድ ጋዘር ያደርጋል ማለት ነው። ሶ ከዛ ወደ ዴታቤዛችን ኢንዴክስ ያደርጋል። ሶ that's the job of this robot. ሶ ሌላኛው ኢንተርፌስ አላቸው። ሶ ዩዘሩ ኢንተራክት እንዲያደርግ ኢንተርፌስ ፕሮቫይድ ያደርጋሉ ማለት ነው። The first one is an information retrieval system. So let's see each one by one. So search engine database. So this is where user's query is matched. So user የሚያስገባው የሰርች ተርም ወይም ደግሞ ወርድስ እዚህ ጋር ነው ማች የሚደረጉት። So it contains only essential parts of a page or pages. So as said, only essential parts, not the whole content of the page, only the dates, the links, and like specific essential parts of a web page. So the third one is only includes pages that were indexed. So index ያልተደረገ ወይም በዌብ ክሮለር ፋይንድ ተደርጎ ኢንዴክስ ያልተደረገ ፔጅ is not available in the database of a search engine. So search አድርገን ልናገኘው አንችልም ማለት ነው። Right, so the second one is a web crawler. So a web crawler ምንድነው? ቅድም እንዳልኩት it's a robot that follows a link. So already ኢንዴክስ የተደረጉ ሊሆን ይችላል ወይም ኢንዴክስ ያልተደረጉ ዌብ ፔጆችን በሊንካቸው መሰረት ሄዶ ምን ኢንፎርሜሽን አላቸው፣ ምን አዲስ አፕዴት የተደረገ ኢንፎርሜሽንም ካለ ምን አፕዴት አለ የሚለውን ትራክ የሚያደርግ ታይፕ ኦፍ ቱል ወይም ደግሞ ሮቦት ነው ማለት ነው። So it records data, it finds words in the web page and metadata. So metadata ማለት data about the data ማለት ነው. So we have a data that is the web page and about that web page specific metadata ይኖራል። መቼ ክሬት ተደረገ፣ ዴት ክሬትድ፣ ዴት ሞዲፋይድ፣ እንደዚህ አይነት ታይፕ ኦፍ ሜታዴታ ትራክ ያደርጋል ማለት ነው the web crawler. Okay, so the next part would be search engine interface. So interfaceዎች ቅድም እንዳልነው it's the one that are visible to the user. So ዩዘሩ የሚጠቀምባቸው ናቸው። It presents results from the information retrieval system. So ሰርች ካደረግን በኋላ ሪዛልቱን ዲስፕሌይ ያደርጋል። ሰርች እንድናደርግ ሰርች ፊልድ ፕሮቫይድ ያደርገናል ማለት ነው። ሶ usually present ሲያደርግ in ranked order ነው። Search engine interfaces and the input user requirements that accept search expression and search limits, and the other one is presentation style, so presentation format and search type. So ኢንተርፌሶቹ እንግዲህ ፕሬዘንት የሚያደርጉበት ፋይንዲንግን ሰርች ተደርጎ የመጣን ሪዛልት ፋይንድ የሚያደርጉበት ፎርማት አላቸው። and የተለያየ ፊልተር ወይም ደግሞ ሰርች ታይፕም ፕሮቫይድ ያደርጋሉ። so as we can filter using specific date ሊሆን ይችላል፣ specific geographical region ሊሆን ይችላል። ሰርች ፊልተር ፕሮቫይድ ያደርጋሉ ማለት ነው። as output the results and description ይመጣል። ሪዛልቱ አለ and ከላይ ይመጣ and about that result description አላቸው ማለት ነው። so I think this is a practically imaginable experience for you. So the other one is search term matching. So this is trying to find a match in the database. So two main methods are. The first one is keyword searching. The other one is matching single terms. Or the other one is concept based searching. So keyword matching ማለት የምታስገቧትን term ራሷን match የሚያደርግ ነገር እንደ ሪዛልት ይመጣላችኋል ማለት ነው። So if you are talking about some, for example, say a computer, it specifically returns about a computer. So concept based ሲሆን ደግሞ, so if you say like a computer, it does also include other computer based systems like it might include mobile devices, it might include say other computer related devices or electronic devices. So that is concept based searching. So these are the two types of methods that are used in searching. So the basic information retrieval features are Boolean operators. So before going into that, I would like to address the fact that search engine የምንላቸው ቅድም እንዳልኩት የራሳቸው የሆነ ኢንፎርሜሽን ወይም ደግሞ ዌብ ፔጆችን ኮንቴን አያደርጉም። ራዘር ስለ ዌብ ፔጁ ኢንፎርሜሽን ነው የሚይዙት። ሶ ለምሳሌ ቤት ለመከራየት ደላላ ነው የምታናግሩት ራይት። ያ ደላላ ስለ ቤቶች ኢንፎርሜሽን አለው። ለምሳሌ ስንት ክፍል ቤት አለው፣ ኤንድ ምን ያህል ያወጣል፣ የት ሰፈር ነው የሚገኘው የሚሉት የተለያዩ ታይፕ ኦፍ ኢንፎርሜሽን ይይዛል ስለ ቤቶች። እናንተ ሄዳችሁ ስትነግሩት ኦኬ እዚህ ሰፈር እንደዚህ ያለ ምናምን ብሎ ይጠቁማችኋል ማለት ነው። ይሄ ካልተመቻችሁ እያለ በእንትን በኦርደር ያስቀምጥላችኋል according to your preference. So that's the same thing as what search engines do. So search engineዎችም እንደደላለው ኢንፎርሜሽኑን ወይም ደግሞ ዌብ ፔጁን አይዙትም፣ ግን ስለ ዌብ ፔጁ ኢንፎርሜሽን አላቸው ማለት ነው። So I think this concept makes it easier to understand what a search engine is. Okay, so that's it. The basic information retrieval features in it. So ብዙ ዴታቤዞች ወይም ሰርች ኢንጂን ላይ የምንጠቀማቸው ቤዚክ ፊቸሮች አሉ። ሶ የመጀመሪያው ቡሊያን ኦፐሬተርስ ናቸው። እነዚህ ኤንድ ኦር ኖት፣ ሁለተኛው ኤግዛክት ፍሬዝ ሰርቺንግ፣ ስቶፕ ኦር ዲሊሽን፣ ትራንኬሽን፣ ሰርቺንግ ኤንድ ፌልስ ናቸው። ሶ እነዚህ እናያለን። ኦልራይት ሶ ቀጣይ ራንክድ አውትፑት ላይ እንመልከት እንዴት ራንክ እንደሚደረጉ። ሶ ሲምፕል ሩል ነው የሚጠቀሙት ሰርች ኢንጂንስ። ሶ የመጀመሪያው early words are more important. So search ስናደርግ for example say healthcare information system ብንል early የጻፍነው healthcare more importance ሲሰጡትና ሰርች አድርገው ማች ሲያደርጉ ብዙዎቹ healthcare ማች የሚያደርግ ዌብ ፔጆች ሊመጡ ይችላሉ። The other one is title is very important. So the title ያ ማለት ዌብ ፔጆች ላይ ያለ ታይትል አሁን healthcare information system በሚል የተጻፈ ፔፐር ታይትሉ healthcare information system ቢሆን አንደኛ ላይ የመውጣት ፕሮባቢሊቲ ይኖረዋል ማለት ነው። rather than a paper that has been written but contains healthcare information system in the body of the web page. So the third one is frequency of occurrence matters for some. So በተደጋጋሚ የተጠቀሰ ወርድ ከሆነ አንድ ዌብ ፔጅ ላይ ያ ዌብ ፔጅ መጀመሪያ ላይ ራንክ ሊደረግ ይችላል ማለት ነው። The other one infrequent words matter more. So infrequent ያ ማለት ተቃራኒ ይመስላል ግን አይደለም። infrequent የሆነ ወርድ in terms of ብዙ ጊዜ ማንጠቀመው አይነት ወርድ ከሆነ ሰርች ያደረግነው እሱን ኮንቴን የሚያደርግ መጀመሪያ ላይ ራንክ ይደረጋል። ለምሳሌ say you're searching about your assignment GDM health ለምሳሌ GDM health ብለን ሰርች ብናደርግ ዩኒክ ነው ወርዱ right GDM dash health. So this is infrequent, you would not see it in many literature. So those that contain that specific term would be in the top of the queue. The last one is modification date. So the latest ones will be at the top and the earlier ones would be at the bottom. So የቆዩት ወደ ታች ይሆናሉ። በቅርብ የተሰሩ ዌብ ፔጆች ወይም ፋይንዲንግስ would be at the top of the finding. So Google is a bit different. So Google ላይ የሚጠቀመው ፔጅ ራንክ ቲ የሚባል ranking method ነው። So this ranks based on popularity. So ያ ማለት አንድ ዌብ ፔጅ if it has many users, if there are many links, many websites that's associated with their website, so ያ ዌብ ፔጅ would be at the top. Okay, top ላይ የመቀመጥ probability ይኖራል። So they see link as a currency or a money to rank web page. So like we value ለምሳሌ money ኢኮኖሚ ውስጥ ቫሊዩ እንደምንሰጠው ወይም ደግሞ የሆነ ነገር በመኒ እንደሚለካ ቫሊዩ ዌብ ፔጆች ደግሞ the amount of the link that የአንድ ስፔሲፊክ ዌብ ፔጅ ሊንክ በተለያዩ ዌብሳይቶች የመጠቀሱ እንደ ቫሊዩ ይቆጠርና ቶፕ ላይ ራንክ ያስደርገዋል ማለት ነው። So this is like the simplest of how search engine results are ranked. So what are the mostly used search engines? So የቅርብ ጊዜ ዴታ ነው። So Google 90% of the share ይይዛል። So 90% of the people use Google, whereas Bing ያንዴክስ እያለ ይቀጥላል ማለት ነው። So as you can see Google is the leader by a very far distance. So scholarly articles ላይ ነው So ወይም research. So a research article reports the results of original search, assesses its contribution to the body of knowledge in a given area, and is published in a peer-reviewed scholarly journal. So we have discussed about what peer review means, what journals are. So it's a given academic field will likely have dozens of peer-reviewed journals. So ብዙ ጆርናሎች ሊኖሩ ይችላሉ በአንድ ፊልድ በአንድ ስፔሲፊክ ኤሪያ ላይ በጣም multiple journals ሊኖሩ ይችላሉ። So search engines like Google Scholar has made researchers articles accessible. So Google Scholar ወይም ደግሞ የጉግል scholarly type of search engine has made these different types of articles accessible. So there are top scholarly search engines. So አንደኛ ላይ ጉግል ስኮላር ይገኛል። ማይክሮሶፍት አካዳሚክ፣ ቤዝ፣ ስኮር፣ ሳይንስ.gov እንግዲህ ፓርት ኦፍ the scholarly search engine ናቸው ማለት ነው። the other one is scholarly database. so የተለያዩ scholarly databaseዎች አሉ። so እነዚህ ስኮፕስ፣ ዌብ ኦፍ ሳይንስ፣ ፐርሜድ፣ ኤአርአይሲ፣ IEEE ኤክስፕሎር፣ ሳይንስ ዲሬክት እነዚህ ጋር እየገባን ሰርች ማድረግ እንችላለን። so some of them እነዚህ ዴታቤዞች they are not free, so you need to pay for subscription and everything. So but PubMed is free for everyone. So let's see PubMed. So PubMed covers field of medicine, nursing, dentistry, veterinary medicine, the healthcare system, and preclinical sciences as well. So it's free, as I said, and contains more than 32 million research articles, and more than that, I would say. And it's maintained by the NCBI, or National Center for Biotechnology Information, at the United States National Library of Medicine. So it's the United States property. So we can say PubMed is the United States solely, but it is free. That's the good thing. So what differentiates PubMed or databases from search engines is that they contain more elaborate information about the different research articles. So they contain the abstract, and sometimes more than the abstract, they contain the full articles. So we can access PubMed through this link, and let's see using how we can use PubMed and what are the different searching methods that we might use. So reasons for searching for the medical literature. So we might have different reasons. So specific patient case ለመመለስ ለክሊኒካል ፕራክቲስ ልንጠቀም ዩዝ እናደርግ እንችላለን። or learn more about medical topics. That's for education, to determine current best practice, for guidelines, for different guidelines, or to give the best possible care to patients using evidence-based medicine. So this is the same as the first one. So overall, like, we have different uses, and also we can mention research, doing systematic reviews, and so on. The first one is Boolean logic. So without further ado, let's see what Boolean operators are. So standard Boolean logic for database searching uses three types of Boolean operators. So the first one is AND, or, and not. So it's very simple, but still a powerful tool, as you can see. So let's see each one by one. So whenever we use AND, so that means we are combining two terms. So the result is likely to contain, or should contain, all of the terms that we included. So for example, let's see, if a record has only one of the two terms, it will not be retrieved. So if we are researching hypertension and treatment and rural Ethiopia, so those among our results would be this part. So that means papers that contain hypertension treatment in rural Ethiopia. So that would be the results or the outcome of this search. So if the record has neither term, if it doesn't contain እነዚህን ሶስት ተርሞች ኮንቴን የማያደርግ ከሆነ ሪትሪቭ አይደረግም ማለት ነው። if a record has only one of the two terms, it will not be retrieved. So እሱን ኖት ማድረግ ያስፈልጋል። So what does this do to the amount of records retrieved? So እዚህ ጋር ማሰብ ያለብን ሪትሪቭ የሚደረገው ኢንፎርሜሽን ብዙ ነው ወይስ ትንሽ ነው ወይስ የሚለው ነው። So ብዙ ኤክስክሉድ የሚደረጉ ፔፐሮች ይኖራሉ ማለት ሃይፐርቴንሽንን ብቻ ኮንቴን ያደረገ ኤክስክሉድ ይደረጋል። ስለ ሃይፐርቴንሽን ትሪትመንት የሚያደርጉ ኤክስክሉድ የሚደረጉ አሉ። ሶ ተሰርች ተርሙ እንደምታዩት ሰርች ሪዛልቱ ቺነች ትንሽ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ኦኬ ሶ the next one is or. So or ላይ ስንመጣ only one, not both of the terms are in the results. So ስለዚህ both እዚህ ጋር ማየት ያለብን the therapy or treatment ብለን ሰርች ብናደርግ ቴራፒ እና ትሪትመንትን ኮንቴን የሚያደርግ ፔፐር ይመጣል። ቴራፒ ትሪትመንት ብቻ ቴራፒን ብቻ ኮንቴን የሚያደርግ ሪሰርች አርቲክልስ ፋይንድ እናደርጋለን ማለት ነው። So I said the amount is the whole as long as it contains this one or both of them. So that means the amount of the search retrieved would be very large. So the third one is not. So not means exclude any results containing the term. So for example, say we searched diabetes, not gestational diabetes. So that means we want to see results for diabetes, but we want to exclude gestational diabetes. So that would be only this part would be returned. So this also decreases the amount of results as compared to OR, but this probably might be higher compared to AND. So these are the three Boolean operators that we need to be using when we search PubMed or other scholarly database. So using OR and AND as a practical example, grouping OR, when we use OR groupings, contain terms for the same idea, concept, and are usually put in parentheses. So when we use them, we have to use the brackets, and the important thing here is the terms are they refer to the same idea. For example, if we see the OR example here, therapy and treatment are the same, right? The concept is the same, but different researchers might choose from these two terms. So they might say diabetes therapy, they might say diabetes treatment, or and so on. So we use OR to search for similar ideas. So usually we have to put them in parentheses. When we come to AND, these are contained terms for different ideas, concepts, and can be combined with OR groups. So the term AND can be combined with the term OR, so where each represents a different concept. So if you come back to this one, we can see that hypertension and treatment are different concepts, right? And rural Ethiopia is a different concept from these two. So whenever we combine terms with AND, they have to be different concepts. If they are similar concepts, we have to use OR, so that we can get the relevant research articles. Okay, using notes. So these statements are usually put last and can contain an OR grouping. They are often used to get rid of a common subgroup. So for example, if you want to know about students, but we don't want to know about dental students, we can exclude dental students by saying students not dental. So this is how we can use these Boolean operators. So the steps to searching are: number one is identifying the concepts. So pass the question. So we have like a research question in mind, and then we have to parse this specific question. What are the concepts? So for example, in the first one, we mentioned about hypertension, right? Treatment, and the other one was rural Ethiopia. So we are concerned with these three concepts. So we will do a practical session later on. The second one is list specific terms for each concept. So after mentioning the concepts, we will have to list specific terms. So I'll say if there are any synonyms that might be used. For example, for treatment, we might use management or therapy. So this, as far as exhaustively as we can, we have to mention them. The third one is put the terms for each concept in an OR statement. So for each concept, as we said, they are similar, so we have to put them in OR. The fourth one is combining the OR statements with AND. So the OR statements that we made, the different concepts, has to be combined with an AND operator. And if there are any statements that we want to exclude, we can use the not Boolean operators. So beyond Boolean logic, we can also use field searching. We have seen in database what field searching is, right? So we can search for a specific field, and also we can have specialty features like truncation and phrase searching. Okay, so what is field searching? So almost all databases will provide you with some ability to search a specific field or fields. So for example, for PubMed, you can search author. Okay, so you can only search an author name if you want. So this allows for faster searching and more accurate searching. So you can see here, you can use this tab to search for different fields. So you can search all fields, or you can search specific field, for example, the title, the abstract, or whatever you prefer. So an author, for example, articles written by an author, articles published in 2024, articles in a specific journal. So this can be achieved by field searching. The other one is truncation. So this is including singular and plural versions of a word, as well as other word variations. So for example, in therapy, therapies, therapeutics are from the same base word, right? So we can combine them by saying therapy or therapies, or therapeutics or therapeutics, the different British and American spelling. So we can use this, or an easier way would be using truncation. We can say therap and then this symbol, or wildcard we call it in PubMed. So this would let the database know that it has to search for anything that starts with therap and ends with different variations. So this lets us include different variations just using one search term, right? So that said, it might vary. So we have to see the different databases, how they apply this truncation technique. So for PubMed, it is the asterisk. For others, might be a $sign, or another sign, maybe. The other one is phrase searching. So what happens when you search gestational diabetes? So it will include gestational studies that include gestational, that includes diabetes only, and that includes both. But if you are specific about this phrase, if you want the studies to only include gestational diabetes, you can phrase search it. So when you phrase search it, it would return the exact phrase, right? Only papers that contain this exact statement, as it's put here, will be returned. So most would accept the phrase in quotes, but some do not handle phrases well and will automatically break them up, usually ending the terms. So usually, if they do not accept the phrase, they will end the terms automatically. So you have to check for how that specific database handles phrase searching before doing it. So that concludes the theoretical session of searching. So we will be returning on the practical session.